Hello everyone and welcome back to Safe Pest Soul, your trusted source for expert pest control tips and tricks. I'm your host Rachel, and today's topic is something many of you might be dealing with right now, drain flies. We're diving deep into how to stop drain flies from breeding in your home. And to help us break down the science behind this pesky problem and give you the best tips to tackle it, I have Chris and Natasha, two of our resident pest control experts with me today. Welcome, Chris and Natasha.
Thanks, Rachel. Always a pleasure to be here.
Hi, Rachel. So excited to dive into this topic. Drain flies can really be a nuisance, but we've got some great tips to share.
Absolutely. So before we dive into the solution, let's talk about the problem. Chris, Natasha, can you start by explaining what exactly are drain flies? Where do they come from, and why are they so difficult to get rid of?
Great question, Rachel. Drain flies, also called moth flies, are small, dark-colored flies that are commonly found near drains, garbage disposals, and sewage areas. They're about 1/8 to 1/4 inch long and have fuzzy wings that make them look almost like tiny moths.
Exactly, and they're often mistaken for fruit flies because they're so small. The thing about drain flies is that they don't breed in the drain itself. They breed in the sludge or organic matter that builds up in your plumbing. So, the issue isn't just the fly, it's the breeding ground in your drains.
So if they're not living in the drains themselves, they're breeding in the muck that accumulates there?
Yes, that's correct. It's that slimy, wet gunk in the pipes where larvae thrive and develop into adults. The eggs can hatch in as little as 48 hours, so it's an ongoing problem if not tackled early.
So with the breeding happening in the pipes, it must be difficult to get rid of them, right?
Exactly. The reason drain flies are so persistent is because they're not just living in your home. They're breeding in places that are really difficult to reach, like deep within the plumbing.
And the eggs and larvae are often buried beneath that slime layer in your drains. So it's hard to access them with typical cleaning methods. You have to get down into the nooks and crannies of your plumbing system to stop the cycle.
That sounds tricky. So it's not just about killing the flies, it's also about tackling the breeding ground. Now that we understand the problem, let's dive into the solutions. Chris, Natasha, how do we stop drain flies from breeding in our homes?
First things first, cleaning the drains. You need to get rid of the sludge, organic matter, and biofilm that's building up in the pipes. Baking soda and vinegar is a great start. Pour a half cup of baking soda down the drain, followed by a cup of vinegar. Let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes before flushing it with hot water.
That's right, Chris. This natural solution helps break down the gunk in your drains and can kill the larvae. If you have a stubborn infestation, you might need to repeat it a few times.
So just baking soda and vinegar to clean out the pipes? Sounds simple, but is it really that effective?
Yes, Rachel. The baking soda is abrasive and can help scrub the pipes, while the vinegar creates a fizzing action that loosens up the debris. This is a non-toxic, budget-friendly solution to eliminate the breeding grounds.
And don't forget about physical cleaning. Use a small pipe brush or even an old toothbrush to scrub around the drain edges to remove any residual gunk. You'd be surprised at how much organic matter can accumulate, especially in areas that aren't cleaned regularly.
Got it. So, clean the drains, scrub the gunk away, and use that baking soda and vinegar combo. What else can we do?
Next up is preventing future infestations. One key to stopping drain flies from coming back is to ensure that the drains stay clean. You can make a habit of using the baking soda vinegar method once a week.
Exactly. You also want to make sure that all food scraps and grease are cleaned off kitchen surfaces and thrown away properly. Don't let them go down the drain, as this will feed the flies and keep the cycle going.
So regular maintenance is just as important as cleaning out the immediate problem area?
Right. Also, consider installing drain covers or screens to prevent larger debris from accumulating in your pipes.
Let's talk about repellents. Are there any natural ways to keep drain flies away? And what if things get worse and I need to bring in the big guns?
Great question. For natural repellents, essential oils like peppermint and eucalyptus are great. Mix a few drops with water in a spray bottle and spray around the drain or any areas where you've seen the flies. You can even add a bit of citrus oil for a stronger effect.
If you're dealing with a larger infestation, you might want to use an insecticide, but make sure it's safe for pipes and drains, and always follow the instructions. Sometimes a targeted approach like a fly spray near the drain can help control the population.
So, natural solutions first, And if things get worse, you can turn to insecticides. But I think prevention is the key, right?
Exactly. The goal is to eliminate the breeding ground and keep your drains and pipes clean so the flies don't come back.
Alright, so let's wrap things up. We've covered how to clean the drains, prevent future infestations, and even natural repellents. Chris, Natasha, any final tips for our viewers?
Just remember, regular maintenance is the key. Keep those drains clean, use natural cleaners like baking soda and vinegar, and don't let organic matter sit in the pipes.
And keep an eye out for any signs of new infestations. The earlier you spot drain flies, the easier it is to take action.
Thanks, Chris and Natasha, for sharing your expertise today. And thank you everyone for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your own tips or questions on how to tackle drain flies. We'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to visit our site safepestsol.com.